Yeah, we're waiting.
And I start and then just for attendance. She's in the bathroom.
You have to. Yeah, she's gonna be back. I think you should wait. You should just wait.
For attendance. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
May I have a motion to adjourn executive session and open the public session?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Welcome to the August 2024 regular session of the Board of Education. This is Joe Cilio, President of Board of Education speaking. Thank you for attending in person or through Zoom. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Due notice of today's meeting has been served to each member of the Board of Education pursuant to the requirements of law. Tina, will you please take attendance? Present.
Present.
Present. Kristen Abbott, trustee.
Present.
Dr. Christine Sinha, superintendent of schools.
Present.
Dana DiCaprio, assistant superintendent for business and finance, district court.
Present.
Nadine McLaughlin, assistant superintendent for human resources and leadership development.
Present. Present.
May I have a motion to close the public session and open the public hearing?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye.
So, Mr. Caprio, could you go over the safety plan, our hearing portion of this meeting?
Thank you. So at the August meeting, we have this public hearing to talk about the district-wide safety plan and to adopt it later on the agenda. So just to give some updates on the plan, in late May, districts were informed that there was discussions regarding changes to the district and business and, the district and the building level plans that were under consideration by the Board of Regents. And those changes were expected to be adopted over the summer. We discussed this at our health and safety meeting that we had last spring, knowing that the final changes would be done after the school year ended. So in anticipation of these changes, we worked with Nassau BOCES on the templates for our plans, and Nassau BOCES took that as an opportunity, and they updated all of the plan templates for the 24-25 school year. In July, as it turns out, most of those regulations were adopted as they had expected, so we were ahead of the curve on that. Most of the changes would really have to do with terminology for the emergency response actions, parent notifications, and the timing of some of the drills. So all of these changes have been incorporated to the plan. That plan went on the district website that we announced on July 1st for a 30-day comment period. That was taken down. Now this is the next step, which is the hearing and the adoption, and that's the requirement for the school year. The building level plans also had those same changes that were attributable to the individual buildings. So all of that has been done. The plans, because they're adopted, we share with the Board of Education, but those are not public, so those are never placed on our site.
And both are on the agenda for approval this evening.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
And there were no questions on the website.
There weren't. We had a very full meeting. We have a very robust health and safety committee meeting. So we have the police there and BOCES and all the private schools and really representatives of our insurance company. And so really a lot of questions are kind of fielded there. We didn't have any additional. We've done training with all our administrative staff on the changes. It's really, I mean, it sounds like it's big changes, but they're really small changes just to kind of nuance some of the drills and, you know, just some of the parent notifications and those types of things, but nothing huge.
Are there any questions from the board? None at this time. Thank you. At this time, may I have a motion to close the public hearing and open the regular session? All in favor? Aye. May I have a motion that the Board of Education accepts the agenda for August 20th, 2024 regular session as presented?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Dr. Sinha, Superintendent of Schools report?
Thank you, Mr. Cilio. I do have several things to report on. Wanted to mention that our Garden City High School was recognized by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association as New York State School of Distinction. This recognition goes to schools that had 100% of their varsity teams finish their season with a 90 or better team GPA. So this year marks our 16th consecutive year for Garden City to receive this award. So we're really very, very pleased with that. I also wanted to let our parents know, Parent Square, we really want to make sure all of our parents have downloaded the Parent Square app. It's available for Apple and Android phones, and it's really important because that is our main mode of communication to our parents to get all updates and school news. So we encourage all our parents, if there are any issues, if any of our parents are having, they're to just contact either at the building level or at the district office, and we would help them. Our extended school year program and our enrichment program, it was done very, very well. First, the SCOPE program, we offered morning and afternoon sessions, 2 sessions. That was a change this year. We had over 600 students at each week come, and I think I really want to recognize Mr. Dan Side, who oversees that program. He's also a 5th grade teacher here in the district. He did an exceptional job with the SCOPE program, and every year I'm really pleased to see more and more new offerings for our students. It was actually a real joy to visit the program with our students there. And then Miss Warnicki, who runs our extended school year program for special needs students, she also does a remarkable job. That was held at Stratford, and our students really had a wonderful experience in both those programs. Our UPK, we have now 68 students registered for Shelter Rock and 36 students at Homestead at this time. And I know Alice met with both administrators from SCOPE and Shelter Rock to really coordinate the curriculum to ensure that there's a level of consistency between both programs, and not just with the curriculum, what we're teaching there, but also things like back to school night, even like things like any kind of trips we may have. So there'll be a real emphasis on that coordination. That's important for us, and of course, important for our parents as well. So that's been, and that's going to continue throughout the year. Our continuing education, that's something that, again, is, we offer that through our district, and we have some new courses that we're offering, and that has also gone out to the community. Let's see. Yeah, Alice, could you give an update on the summer curriculum projects?
Sure, absolutely. We have had summer curriculum projects taking place throughout the summer in all disciplines across grade levels K-12. Each of the projects has been shaped around our curriculum articulation work. And I have set up, after having had the opportunity to review each of the projects myself, having meetings with the supervisors who oversaw all of those projects to do a debrief on what the process looked like, what the products look like, how we want to see this happening moving forward. And so far, I have to say that the quality of work has been stupendous and really thoughtful work that was really meant to be helpful to further the work of the district and make sure that the kids get what they need. And there's also been a lot of professional development over the summer as well, in addition to the curriculum work. In fact, we had right at the beginning of the summer training on the literacy briefs. There was a writing boot camp over the summer, and this coming week we have more Flex PD, in technology coming up.
Yeah.
So it's been a summer of learning and growing and preparing for our kiddos who are coming back before we know it.
Yes. Thanks, Alice. And Nan, could you give an update on hiring, please?
Sure. Thanks, Dr. Sinha. So we've been busy this summer. New teacher orientation started today. We had 21 new folks with us today. There were 4 who were away on vacation, couldn't make it. But we do still have a couple of hires. We hired a new business teacher in June to replace Mr. Scafani, who retired. He's resigning. His father is very ill and he isn't able to join us. We do have several strong candidates. I'm confident we'll have someone to start the school year. We also need a middle school psychologist. That process is well underway. Again, I'm sure we'll have someone in time. We need 1 teaching assistant at Hemlock. We had someone, but she was so good that we hired her to be a part-time resource room teacher. And we have over 40 applicants for that position. I'm confident we'll be fine there. The one place I am honestly a little nervous is we had a nurse vacancy at Stewart and our other nurse at Stewart resigned. She resigned Thursday. We do thankfully have a retiree who lives in the community, who is beloved, who has agreed to come in and help us out while we search for the replacement. So for at least one of those nurses, we're A-okay. And for the other one, we have some options. We could bring in an agency while we search. We are also asking if any of our nurses employed at our private schools might like to transfer into the public schools. You know, they're all our nurses. So one way or another, we will have a plan and we will actively search for replacements. But as you know, hiring school nurses is a little bit of a challenge. We have been able to do it over the past few years, but I just, I know that it isn't an easy task, but we will not give up. Other than that, we're in great shape, but I shouldn't have just said that. So let's just pretend that I didn't. Thank you.
Thanks, Nan. And Dana, could you just give an update on summer projects, please?
Certainly. So, as the board's aware, the approval process for construction approval up at SED has been significant delays. And it caused us to miss the opportunity to do any new work this summer. We talked about this in June, we talked about it in May because we didn't have approvals. I think it was last March and April we were awarding contracts. That's how delayed this has been. We followed our practice. It really is just
Stayed
a
in.
lot of backlog on getting these done. So I can give you an update on where we are, but we're not as far along as we would normally be talking at this time of year because we usually would have a whole summer's worth of work. So the projects that we had been waiting on, most of which are approved, were the high school bleacher replacement. And that project includes not just the bleachers, but we were also doing one of the backboards. The last basketball backboard was going to become retractable, and we were also replacing the folding doors that are nothing but broken with a curtain, which I guess is also electric and comes down from the ceiling. So that's a pretty big project. That has now since been approved. We are using some vendors off of contract for that. So the purchase orders have already been done for most of this. We're still waiting for some of the trade work and we're getting proposals on that. We're hoping that that work will be done. We're scheduling it if everything is in, cross our fingers, over the Christmas break, because we do have a 2-week time frame in there that they think that they could get this done. So I'll keep you updated if that all works out. Obviously, it depends on when the materials are received. The air conditioning for the multi-purpose rooms for Hemlock, Homestead, and Locust was also approved, which is nice. We had a contractor or a vendor or contractor or contract that we thought was going to be able to do this. It came in way higher than we had wanted. So that work is going out to bid. Our architects and our construction manager felt that the best timing for pricing for that would be to do that probably in late September, early October with the work to be done afterwards. The materials that they're using for these projects, I'm told, do not have a crazy long lead time. And they feel that us allowing them to do some work before the heavy snows is probably in our benefit as well. So that work, we expect, about 80–90% of the work is done outside the buildings. So they think it really will be very little disturbance inside. And so we'll wait to see on that. The last project is the bus garage cement repair. That also was approved. That is going to be a minimum of a 3-month job. We cannot start it now. And in speaking to transportation, it has to be done over the summer. So that we're planning on bidding out for summer 25. So that's when that'll, unfortunately, we can't get started on that. The last that is not approved yet are some storage areas that we were looking at, but those have, I don't have an update on that. So those are the summer.
Yeah.
projects.
And what about our elementary libraries? They're ready to open up.
What they
for
did over the summer, we did a lot of in-district work. I mean, we've replaced ceilings, we've done a tremendous amount of painting. You look at, we did a whole hallway in the middle school. We've done a lot of beautification work over this summer. The serving line at the high school, those ceilings and lights have been replaced. We did a lot of inside, our work. So all of that's been done. The other thing is that the projects that we were doing last summer, which is the libraries and the courtyards and all that, believe it or not, those are just about done. To anyone we're using all our spaces. Everyone is in the libraries, the circulation's in place. The courtyards are ready to be used. All of that is a full go ahead. We do have punch list items that are still going on there, but nothing that would limit the use of the spaces. So all of those projects from last summer, there's really none that are completely closed down. Anything, even if the work's fully done, they still have submittals to do. There's like a whole last part of that. So over the next, I would say, 2 to 3 months, hopefully we can put a bow on those and send up the completions up to the state, but that's where we are. So that's what they've been working on this summer.
And what's nice is that our students can go, especially the two libraries, the elementary libraries, their students are going to be back in it.
Oh,
So which will be really
just
nice.
visited them a couple
It's
weeks ago.
beautiful,
It's
I saw them
just-
today.
Yeah, we saw
It's-
them
We saw them today. They're amazing.
Just
Mhm.
really so pleased.
If any,
They're- they're
yeah, if you
They're
want to
so
go
great.
see it, we'd be more than happy to take you to see those spaces.
I just had a question about the curtain in the gym for basketball, and it's gonna be in the 2 weeks of Christmas break. Is that going to interfere with basketball?
For the 2 weeks
Yeah.
that we are installing this, we will not have use of that gym. Mr. Ramirez is fully aware of it. Everything is being worked on with athletics, hands and step. So I'm assuming they'll be moving that over to the middle school. But exactly what that looks like, I really would, need to fill you in later.
No,
I'm going to think,
no.
Probably not.
Good luck.
And Dana, if you can also, it's on the agenda, the internal audit corrective action plan, if you can speak to that as well.
Sure. So, we've spoken about the internal auditors in the spring had finished their field work on, detailed testing on the district's effectiveness of complying with IT-related policies and procedures. And, as everyone knows, we also had the comptroller's audit this year, also on IT, so they are just, experts now at all the audits down there. So, the audit committee back in, the very end, I think it was like early June, we had met and they reviewed the draft report. Over the summer, the auditors really just finalized the report and gave it to us. Overall, the feedback was excellent, not very different than what we knew about IT and their policies and procedures. There was a couple of comments just on, recommendations on some improvements to what we could, our review of users in some of the frontline programs, which is what we addressed in the corrective action plan. So that has all been done. All the departments that are involved, they actually contributed to what the corrective action plan is. And, of course, it goes before the board for approval and then it gets uploaded to the state. So we're in good timing with that as well.
Thanks, Dana. I have a couple more things that I wanted to report on. Our district calendar, parents should be receiving that any day. And I just want to remind our parents that our digital calendar is probably the most up to date. There's some good information on the paper calendar, but always check the website for most up-to-date information. And just a couple of other items. I had the opportunity to attend the AASA Legislative Conference in July, which I'm on their governing board. It was actually a great day. We went to Capitol Hill and met with Congress representatives from New York State. And our focus was on again, the IDEA funding, funds for mental health, electric buses, and a lot around the modernization of our buildings with a focus on really the HVAC systems, creating a pipeline for more of our youngsters to go into the field of education, because that's another area of shortage. But it's a great way for me, is to collaborate and hear from what's going on nationally. So it's something that I enjoy every year going to. Homecoming this year is coming early. It's September 21st. So we're working with the PTA to see what plans we'll have. So, you know, we have our game, and we're looking to have some sort of a parade that day as well. But I'll keep everyone informed, including our community. You know, I know Nan touched upon this around the new teacher orientation. So really want to thank Nan and her team for coordinating the new teacher orientation. It's you know, they're with us for 3 days. It's really good, solid days where they learn about our district, what we value, and then just getting ready. But what's really nice is this year we have four of our new teachers. There are graduates from Garden City. And I have to tell you, you know, what we value in this community around, you know, folks who, that they come back. And when you hear their stories about why they became teachers, is that they were inspired by teachers here in Garden City. It's unbelievable. And you know, I look at our young teachers, and they're so proud to be here and excited to be here. I think we've done a great job with our new teachers, and looking forward for our board to meet them as well. And then Superintendent's Conference Day is next week on the 29th at the high school. And we're looking forward to having our staff back. Ms. DiCaprio is also holding a day before on the 28th for our security personnel, our facilities and grounds, clerical folks, to do some additional training, and transportation, of course, to do some additional training. And in terms of our first day is again September 3rd. We welcome our students, and we truly look forward to welcoming them. And our portals will be opening for parents tomorrow for Stewart and Stratford. And then for high school students, the portals open on the 26th. And then 27th is the middle school, and the 28th for our primary school. And again, we can't wait to welcome our students. Thank you.
Any questions from the Board of Education? Seeing none, thank you. At this time, this period is designated for the public to address any questions to the board that they may have. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Thank you very much. I know you have a much smaller attendance here than last time. I was here on I think it was the 11th of June, introduced myself as a member of the Recreation Commission, Village of Garden City. So I'm here in that capacity, not as a parent of my two students. On the 10th, we sent a letter to Administrator Foley asking for a meeting about the use of school fields. After a couple back and forth and some vacations, we finally got to sit down with Administrator Foley and AD Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez was again, never fails to impress me. You know, was very straightforward with some capabilities. I think we agreed the next step would be to submit a formal request for use of fields to Administrator Foley, and then he would bring it up with the superintendents. I don't know if it requires a board vote or the superintendents just make a decision. The reason why I'm here tonight, although I think we have a pathway, the village just needs to get moving on its permitting process. And so, you know, we just want to know if these fields are in scope or not. I'm happy to answer any questions. I don't want to belabor the evening. I know you've all been here, and I don't want to take any longer than this requires.
We can come back to you on that. I think the
Yeah.
administration has to do some work. Just one question from me. Is this for, what sports is it for? What, you know?
Yep.
Because I
Yep.
know you're working with the
So
village.
it would be in line with I think the regulation 1500, which would be community use. And it's all the same groups that probably already contract with the school district for school district use, plus some of the village PAL teams. And so I think, like I said, in June, there's a need to augment the field use in the village because they're going to be opening up some fields, closing others. And so it would be helpful to have access to the high school on Sundays, and Stewart Field was another, the Stewart at Stewart School Field, on weeknights and weekends. I think those were two fields and times that were underutilized or available per AD Ramirez. So that was the pathway. And then just recently, 2 days ago, Andy Hill from the village, again this year, confirmed that the school district can use Community Park from 3:30 to 5, as has been customary, for years and years. And then, I have at least 3 months worth of emails where there's a request from the high school to use either the village fields or Community Park, or even the gym at St. Paul's. And those are always, within hours or the next day, those are usually approved unless there's another. So it's really a request to just have a reciprocal relationship at a time when the village does need some alternative sites, because there has to be some work done on the fields that the village owns now.
That's fair. I'll leave it to
Yeah.
the administration, but I guess just top of mind for me is just making sure, hey, the permits and insurance, whatever those liabilities are, that we just kind of coordinate amongst you all to figure that out, just so.
Yeah,
we
we
have
are
that
looking
covered.
into that. We are looking into that, and we'll be in touch with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a timeline on when we might?
We hope to get back to you. Today's Tuesday. Give us a day or two.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Right, when would they be looking to start those fields?
Well, we have, Centennial Soccer is starting in weeks.
Okay, so
So,
it's a timely issue.
yeah.
Okay, all right. And did Ed give you any indication that though, because listen, I've had kids, all the youth sports and
Sure.
adult and the high school sports. Did he give any indication that those fields are in use at those times? History has told me no, but I'm not sure if things have changed.
Oh, totally. The purpose of that meeting was to hash out all those details. And so we did hash out those details. And so AD Ramirez was emphatic that there are windows. He
Right.
defined those windows that indicated or directed our request so that we wouldn't interfere with what is the priority, which is the school district's use of those, for sure.
Right, because those times and dates, again, my kids are out of youth sports a long time, but
Yep.
traditionally the schools are not using those fields.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon is a time when the schools aren't, and we've seen, I've had my own daughters use other school district fields on Sunday afternoons when there's nothing else happening there. And then Stewart School, after school is out, there's no use of that soccer field there. So to answer your question.
Just to the extent that you're gonna use the high school, stadium or whatever.
Yep.
I've had kids go through the youth, and I just want to emphasize that it should be equitable for the boys and the girls.
Sure, I appreciate that. I have 2 daughters, and one plays traditional lacrosse. Well, now she just moved to Team 91, but I appreciate that. And my dad was actually a member of the men's association that sat down with Principal Okolski when I was in high school, and my daughter won the states with the girls lacrosse team and convinced them to hire their first assistant lacrosse coach.
Appreciate that. I guess just one other thing is, maybe just to kind of get the email chain going. So you guys are make sure you're kind of
If you can just-
coordinating whatever the times are.
Yeah, if you can just, if you can just give your phone number to Ms. Papalardo.
I will do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. thank
Appreciate the
you.
time.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray.
Congratulations.
To make efficient use of the meeting time, the Board of Education has authorized the use of a consent agenda as part of the meeting agenda. A consent agenda allows for one motion to approve multiple items that are identified on the agenda. The President of the Board will ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda, and will ask board members if they wish to have a discussion or clarification on any specific item in the agenda. Following the discussion, the board will then vote on the consent agenda motion. In addition, a board member may request to have an item on the agenda removed and discussed separately if they so choose. At this time, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes business of the board items H1 through H3, personnel items I1 through I12, business office matter items J through J17, curriculum and instruction items J J through J17, sorry, curriculum and instruction items K1 through K4, continuing education matter items L1 through L2, and special education matters M1 through M7. All, second, all in favor? Aye. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby authorizes attorneys Gercio and Gercio LLP to initiate an appeal on its behalf in connection with the proceeding regarding a particular student brought pursuant to the IDEA and New York education law as more fully discussed in executive session.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Is there any new business from the board? Any from the administration?
I just want to clarify, the last agenda item was an addendum to the agenda.
Thank you.
No business from this.
Future Board of Education meetings will be Tuesday, September 10th, 2024 at the Board of at the high school, and it's a public work session at 8:15. And then the following meeting will be Tuesday, September 17th. It's a Board of Education regular session at the high school at 8:15 as well. At this time, may I have a motion that being no further business to come before the board, that the meeting may be adjourned? All in favor? Aye.